One, two, one, two. Okay, so we're into it. Okay, I don't know what was happening there. I apologize for you guys. But I thank you all for tuning in to Ash Said It Daily. Yes, this is Ash Said It Daily from AshSaidIt.com. AshSaidIt.com. This is our recap show of everyone's guilty pleasure. Yes, darling. How to Get Away with Murder. So I'm joined by my co host here, Ro. What's up, Ro?
Howdy ho there, neighbor.
Hey, hey, hey. All right, so first off the bat, for anyone listening that is a fan of the show and loves the show and wants to definitely tune into the show, but you have not seen episode 9 of this season, you're going to want to turn off the show. All right, because I don't want anyone crying to me. I don't want anyone tweeting me, oh, Ash, you ruined it for me. I hadn't watched it yet. I'm telling you now, I'm giving you forewarning. We're going to talk about who's under the sheet. Okay, we're going to talk about the whole episode and every single aspect of it. So, this is your time to channel off and to check BZ later. Check ashsaidit.com later after you've watched the episode. So, like I said, this is my forewarning to let you guys know. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So, this is more than ample time for you to click on that X and continue on with life. So, Ro, how are you doing today, Ro?
Yeah, just taking it one step at a time, Ash. You know,
Yeah.
I usually watch it live, but I was just so tired, man, from Thursday. I just had to watch it today, and it's a good thing I watched it today, because otherwise I would not have been able to go to sleep.
Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. This one, I mean, this particular show went into so many different directions that I didn't even know how things were going to be revealed. But apparently, before we jump into the episode, apparently this is a theme for them. Their winter finale, they always reveal something. According to Chessa page number 1, I was just checking on, in season 1, it was revealed who had killed Lila, which we know that was Frank. And in season 2, episode 9, it was revealed who had shot Annalise, which was Wes. So, this episode, of course, we go through the entire episode in its entirety, before we find out who is under the sheet. So, how do you want to approach this one, Ro? How do you want to talk about this first?
Well, we should definitely leave the sheet last. We could just start off by, what was that whole Ted Bundy thing, huh? Ted Bundy, that was the character from, that, what's that guy's name again?
No,
Ted
that
Bundy,
no, that was Al Bundy. Ted Bundy was like a
Al Bundy.
yeah, that's a different. No, this Ted Bundy, he was an actual person, and he done some
Oh.
really not great things. So yeah, so she had given them a midterm assignment, and they had to basically plead his innocence,
Mm.
and that was pretty interesting. That was an interesting turn of events for that.
Yeah, I felt like it was kind of like how she felt about Frank. You know, it was kind of like, hey, tell me why I should bring Frank back into the team. You know what I mean? Because they need a guy like Frank. You know, you got a problem, hey, call Frank. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's the kind of guy that he is.
he'll take care of it for
Problem.
you. I'm in full belief Frank will take care of it for you. He will do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, and of course, in the flashback, we learn that Bonnie actually stops Frank from blowing his brains out. And of course, Annalise is like, you should have did it. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, Annalise, would you really have wanted to have had that going on in your house? I mean, so much crap has happened in your house, you know?
I think she's so distracted right now. I don't think she knows if she's coming or going.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
don't think
But
she really knows.
I mean, I'm just happy that the whole group passed their midterms. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So how do you feel about the Connor and Oliver dynamic? How things have switched up
Oh
now.
my gosh, they don't know. They're just like the coming and going situation. They don't know what's going on. But it's really Oliver's the main problem, but it's like Connor wasn't a good situation with him at first, but then once he called him damaged goods, was it like last week I think?
Mm-hmm.
That really got to him, and he's like, I don't want anything to do with this fake, this fake dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm on Team Connor, honestly.
Yeah, Oliver is just annoying, and he doesn't. I think Oliver, he has control issues, and that
Yeah.
was really demonstrated with him in the whole Thomas situation. Why he didn't tell Thomas that he was HIV positive is beyond me. They had 3 dates. Those are three separate opportunities for you to disclose your status to him before y'all decided you're gonna, jump into the bed. So I'm not loving Oliver at all. Not even a little bit.
I mean, I think maybe he was afraid to tell him, like he's like, it's going so great. If I tell him, he'll leave me. That's probably what he was thinking of.
Yeah,
But he's also pretty selfish.
yeah, it was
So
very selfish, because you're taking away that person's right to choose what they want to choose. If he chooses to be with him, same way. Okay, well, at least Oliver was honest with it versus him just, oh, I'm not still not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna wait until he's basically ready. No, you can't just sit up there and do that. So Oliver is
yeah.
my next to Laurel. Oliver's my least favorite character.
Wow, that's pretty bad with someone getting pretty close to Laurel,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, okay, so we found out, 2 episodes ago that Laurel's pregnant. What do you
Right.
think is going on there? Because I have my personal thought process on that because everybody's lying to everybody. Ain't nobody telling the truth. Everybody lying. Everybody.
What do I think? Like,
Yeah.
I think maybe. I mean, was she even actually drinking? I mean, maybe she knew she was already pregnant. I mean, she could have easily been drinking water and act like she was drunk. You know what I mean? She could have pulled one of those, like, oh, I'm just so drunk, wasted. Ow! But she's not really drunk. You know what I mean?
I think that she was fooling around with Frank when Frank got back. That's what I think.
You think?
I think so
No.
because we didn't because they didn't show. Remember, they didn't really show. They all you saw was that Frank said, "Oh, I have no place to go," and she's like, "Yeah, you can come in here. You can stay here." And she claimed that he stayed the night there at her house. And then the next day, she was really defensive when Wes was, talking to her about it. And he was, he felt some type of way that this guy, her ex boyfriend, is basically spending the night at her house. How does that really look? You know?
He should be angry. You know what I mean? You lied to him, but then you tell him the truth like that. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all we know is if she does have that kid, the kid comes out a little bit darker. We all know that is.
Let chocolate drop. There ain't nothing wrong with chocolate.
Yeah, just a little calm on the side,
Yeah.
kid that really is.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting how that comes about. That's even to say, even if she has the baby, what if she, with
Right.
all the stresses of all this stuff, what if she loses the baby?
And complications.
Mm-hmm.
So probably end up losing the baby. I mean, they're always killing somebody off on the show. Why
Yeah,
not kill off the baby?
yeah, that would be a simple fix right there. So
Yeah, Shonda Rhimes is one crazy Massachusetts woman, isn't she?
yeah, she's something else. I would definitely say she's something else. Mm-mm-mm.
I personally liked about the whole thing of Michaela's mom. Like, she is so country that it's hilarious.
That was just so random and just so like,
It was.
what? Mm-mm.
I know, right? I know. It's like Asher picked up the phone and he gave her Michaela's number and address and everything, and he's like, I didn't know she was gonna be coming down here. I thought she was gonna send you a gift or something, man. I'm like, okay, Asher, you're such an idiot. Why would you even pick up the phone?
Mm-hmm. Trying to be nosy, trying to help. He's so
Yeah,
annoying
but
too.
he tries too hard. Just you don't know what he is.
He out there. I don't know what he is either.
Yeah.
He's something else. He is certainly
I know,
something
right?
else.
Just all this stuff going on with Annalise, she decides to trade her. Well, who is she talking to? Oh, she was with Mary J at the hair salon. That quote she used, that she traded her vodka for cake.
Well, that's basically what she was doing. She's sitting up there eating junk food all the time.
I know. I love that scene when she was at the convenience store. She had like all this like a mountain full of junk food, and the cashier was like, "You have the munchies."
You better mind your own damn business. You asking me questions.
Hey man, you just try to get that sale, alright? And he's like, you probably want to go smoke it out with her in the back or something. He's like, yeah, I got good stuff too, which I can hook you up.
Like a real junkie.
Oh yeah.
So it was fascinating when she was there at the beauty shop with Mary J. And by saying Mary J. Blige, y'all. Yes, the singer. She was there.
Yeah.
And Mary J's like, yeah, this your friend. Thank you for that referral. And she's like, what referral? And she's like, yeah, little brown skin girl, natural hair, shoulder length, and she sure had a lot of questions about you. She gave me that single white female type of vibe. I was like, Now at first, I thought that it was gonna be the president of the school.
Really?
I did, because I don't know. That's the only female that really came to mind for me. I was like, maybe she's trying to do something janky, or maybe she's trying to set Annalise up or something. But then it made sense for it to be, the DA's office.
Yeah, she crazy. She really does want Annalise's life.
I think so. I think she's trying to emulate her too much and trying to be Annalise, which is just, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was cool how Annalise kind of went over and met up with her, and she wanted to play dice, and she was like, "Hey, girl, what's going on?" And the lawyer chick totally was like, "Oh, this must be about me being with Nate and stuff." You know what I mean? And of course, Annalise accused her of investigating her. And then the girl's all, "Get out of my office! Get out of here, Annalise!" Which is so obvious that she was investigating her, But it's just crazy, So crazy. Which led to her meeting up with Nate, and that didn't go well.
Not surprised there.
About that? I bet you love that part.
I mean, I wasn't surprised. I mean, at the end of the day, the thing about it is, though, even though Nate is trying to put up this wall, trying to claim that, I'm done with you, Annalise, and all whatever, he still love her. He still care about her. It's all still there. He just need to figure out his life. That's what he need to figure out next. He need to figure out his life. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, because we do see a scene soon after where Nate actually, or we ain't gonna go through that yet. Okay, so after Annalise finds out about the lady and everything and all the crazy stuff, she goes home. And, you're like, okay, she goes home and she rushed in. She go into the kitchen and she open up her purse and she pulls out this big old glass of vodka. I was like, no, Annalise, don't do it. No. Like, I was yelling, I was screaming at the TV. No, you was doing so good. Your sobriety, Annalise, hashtag no. And Annalise just went off, bro. She just was drinking that thing like it was water. And technically probably is water, because, they can't drink on film. But it was just, she was just drinking. She started destroying files. She started burning files. She started destroying her computer. She was just completely just unraveled. Like, I'm like, oh no, you probably should have called the principal, because she's technically like her sponsor. Why you didn't call the president? I don't want to call her the principal, the president. She should have called the president. I was like, no. So Annalise was just unraveling. So at one point, she gets herself up. And I want to hope that she walked to Bonnie's house. That's what I'm assuming. because I can't see her behind on the road because she was toe up. Annalise was toe up, bro. She was toe up. She bust through to Bonnie's place, and she's like, "Hey, Bonnie, you drinking?" And she's like, "No." He's like, "Oh, you better. We all going to jail."
Like a true drunk.
Yeah, she's like, "Well, you better start something. We everybody going to jail." Mm-hmm. They said they investigating me, and we going to jail. That's it. And Bonnie, as usual, tries to keep Annalise
Calm her down.
kind of calm her down, keep her level headed. And Annalise is just unraveling. She is
Just
unraveling.
drinking like a fish. I don't know.
So after she leave, what I want to say is after she left her house, she didn't close her door back. Her front porch door was still open. So they made that very obvious so the audience could see, oh, Annalise left her door open. So you're like, okay, who's going to sneak up in there and do something? So she's at Bonnie's. I think she probably done finished off the vodka. She about passed out. Bonnie's like, look, fool, just go to sleep. Just take your butt to sleep. All right, sleep it off. You'll be all right. So Bonnie leaves her. And Annalise is asleep. That's all we see. Annalise is asleep. So where do you want to take it from there?
Well, I'm not really sure. You were going on about Annalise drinking and causing a ruckus over at Bonnie's. I was gonna talk about Michaela's mom.
Yeah, jump
like
into that.
when she was saying that, oh, she's like, okay, Michaela was like, okay, what do you want now? And she's like, the mom's like, oh, I actually got the cancer. And Michaela's like, come on, tell me the truth. So she's like, okay, so I lied about the cancer, but I really did, like, leave your father, or I guess foster father, and I basically need a place to stay for a couple of days. And of course, Michaela is just like, man, you can't stay here. I ain't gonna take care of you. Are you kidding me? I mean, she's got her own life to live. You know what I mean? It's really inconvenient. I mean, you didn't call. You just show up. Well, technically, I guess you did call, but she didn't really talk to her. You know what I mean? But yeah, but the mom does bring that aspect of comic relief, even though people are getting killed and slaughtered all the time on this show. But um, she's an interesting lady.
I would say that. I would state that. It's a strange. It adds a different element to the show because it's so far fetched. Like you see Michaela, she's this pretty black chick in law school, took care of herself, and then this is her mother, and you're kind of like, okay, what's the backstory
like how'd she
here?
end up like that? Like how'd she end up so like just independent and do things on her own, and she's got a mother that's just like a mooch. You know what I mean? It's like, and she wanted to be the opposite of that.
Right.
So, oh, I went too far. My notes. Give me 1 minute. Oh no. Okay. Yes. No. Sorry. I'm just like, okay. Yeah. So okay. So of course, I enjoyed the parts with Laurel and Wes when they're on they're fighting, of course. And Wes was like, you know what, Laurel, you treat me like a charity case. And then she was like, wait, yeah. He's like, yeah, you're only with me to fix me. And Laurel was like, no, Wes, no, that's not the case. I really do like you, but he ain't having that because, he kind of bumped his head when he started dating her. So, and then we learned the big thing was that the crazy lawyer lady was actually investigating Wes, correct? Did I get that right?
Yeah. But she's investigating Wes in order to bring Annalise down.
Gotcha. Well, I just figured it was that because, like, Wes's lawyer called to see him, and then there was a lady in the background that called the crazy lawyer to tell her that, okay, this is where they're going to be at. So that was like their intel to tell them where Wes would be so they can kind of track him down,
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So you already mentioned about the Annalise, burning documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what about Annalise looking for Frank? You didn't mention that,
Yeah,
did
no,
you?
go into that.
Well, I didn't really have much to know than that. That's all I really had.
Yeah.
Was that while she was drunk, she was like, "Where's Frank?" And Bonnie was like, "He's not here." So then she started to drink with her. Well, just really just her drink, and Bonnie be like, "Well, at least she's not driving." Of course, we learn that Connor is going to be hanging out with Thomas, and as you all remember, Thomas was the guy that Oliver went out with like 3 times, but then he didn't tell him that he was HIV positive. And then he ended up breaking up with him because he told him like right before they were gonna get it on. And yeah, so that's he's gonna hang out with him and have some good times. So it was. I thought it was kind of funny that when Michaela was with the mom, I don't remember where they were at. She was at the clinic, I guess.
No, they were in her house. They were in her house.
Was it at their house when everybody started coming in to like
Yeah.
greet her?
Mm-hmm.
That was their house. Oh, okay. I thought they were at the clinic.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I thought
Michaela's
it was
house.
cool. Like how Asher was like, I couldn't stop them, and then everybody came and started greeting her, like, oh hey, Mrs. Whatever your last name is, yay, it's so nice to meet you. And then Michaela's like, I'm going to kill you, Asher. And Asher's like, well, I got one more good day, I guess. So tell me, how awkward was it when Annalise like drunkenly kissed Bonnie?
That was weird.
Very weird. That was like a mother kissing a daughter.
It was really weird because it's just like, I guess Annalise, she feels so alone, and
Yeah.
Bonnie's like probably the only close person to her right now, and it's like, okay, don't screw that up, Annalise. This is the one person that has your back.
The one person.
But, the good thing Bonnie actually, knows, how to handle Annalise, but yeah, that was awkward to see.
Yeah, I was a little confused about this one. Alright, so, Bonnie tells Frank, hey, Annalise is getting investigated. But, Frank was kind of like, you would want me to, fix it and stuff. Was he feeling like they just kind of used him or something? How was he feeling?
I mean, she was basically asking him to sacrifice himself.
Right.
And so he was like, Annalise don't even want me around, and you want me to take the fall for everyone. She's like, you're the only one that can really survive taking this type of fall. Because she knows that they'll be able to get him out and probably on lower charges and stuff. So he already has a record. So.
13 years is a pen, it's a long time. I think he was the one who said any other time in the prison, So, I mean, regardless of how long they would get him, it's still kind of like, I don't ever want to go back there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
How it's feeling. But, I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to prison last time, but, you might have to take my records again,
I don't know. I got to double check on that, bro.
Yeah, well, it's sealed, okay? So, we learn that Annalise calls Wes, and of course she doesn't get him, and she leaves a message for him, and then she calls Oliver and Laurel. So you want to take those away? Shit.
Yeah, she basically calls him and tells Oliver to meet her. Was it at the office? It was like it was 2 different instructions, because she met Oliver at the office or whatever, or the school meeting building or whatever, and she told him what to do as far as cleaning. To get into the DA's database.
Yeah.
Right, to hack it. She wanted him to hack that. She called Laurel and all the others and told them to meet her at the house. Well, in that time frame, wow, no, something else just came to mind. I'm not gonna say that yet, but okay, in that time frame, she got in contact with Laurel. She couldn't get Michaela. She couldn't get Connor. But she did, and she didn't get Asher. So really, Laurel was the only one that she actually reached. So you see in between that Nate actually goes to Annalise's house. Why? Because he still loves her. I told you that. I told y'all that Nate still love Annalise. He will always love her. He just will. He just always will love her. He may not like what she do, but he love her. So he goes to
her next season.
Huh?
He'll get her next season.
I don't know. We'll see what happens because Annalise always pushing men away. So I don't know what that story's about. But no, so you
get back to women, y'all.
Oh boy. But so you see Nate enter the house, so you're like, okay. So Nate's in the house. He's walking around looking for Annalise or whatever. That's all. That's the last time that you see Nate. Next, you see Laurel. She's at the party or whatever because they're celebrating because everybody passed. You see Laurel at the party house or whatever, or that house that Asher works at. And she's like, look, Annalise needs us, at the house, blah, blah, blah. So he is pretty much wasted. And he's like, I'm not going to make it. He passes out. So Laurel is like, you know what, whatever. I'm going to just go and meet everybody else there. So she heads out there. She goes to the house. She steps in the house. Tutu's house, kapoosh, blows up. House blows up. And so, they're fast forwarding to real time. And then they're showing, the whole Laurel situation. Laurel is hurt. She's in the hospital, blase, blase. You see Frank. So Frank is outside looking with the crowd of people. He's on the phone with Bonnie. Because Bonnie had called him to see, to get the 411 on what the hell, went on or whatever. And she's talking to Frank. And, it looks like Frank didn't realize that Laurel was in the house. So he's asking, is she okay or whatever? And then she's telling Frank, she was pregnant. She's pregnant and all that stuff. And he's like, is she going to be okay? And they're like, I don't know. So that's the last time we see Frank. You just know he's always floating around because he's always a crafty character. Frank has always been pretty crafty and, able to just fall in line with different things. So, crafty character. So, they catch up to Bonnie at the hospital. So, Bonnie, Maggie, everybody's hounding Bonnie down, trying to get it, what's going on? She says somebody's dead. And so you see them going to the coroner's office where the medical examiner is. They're going through the door and you see somebody. You don't see who it is. You hear a woman. You hear the examiner talking and it's describing a black male, unclear about what age range this person is. And you see a figure coming from the side, coming into the room. The person walks into the room. And the person is Nate. So Nate is not killed in the house. And I'm kind of stunned because I'm like, well, he was kind of only really character that would have made a huge difference. Well, I should say wouldn't have made a huge difference if he died. That was in the Nate. It was like, whatever. So, y'all. Whew. They pull back the sheet. Who's behind the sheet, bro? Who's under the sheet?
Why you gotta make me say it, man? It is Wesley Doggone Gibbons. You hear me?
My jaw dropped because I couldn't believe they killed off Wes. I was like, maybe he doing make believe, and they pretended that he was dead and he really not. No, he looked pretty cooked. He looked pretty done. So Wes is the one that, was killed. So they go back and they show you the group of the kids, everybody, because Bonnie just told them who it was that died. And everybody's starting to cry and weep. But I look at Connor and he don't really look too broken up about it. So that's one of my suspects. On this show, everybody's a suspect. Until you've been proven that you did not kill somebody, you're gonna be a suspect in my book. I just don't know. It's just he.
Wait, but Beezy, what do you mean? Wait, you mean someone started the fire, right?
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. But
I know, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
what I'm saying is everybody is a suspect. And one of the last scene is Nate going back to Annalise, and he's
In
kind of
jail.
what?
Remember, she's in jail.
Yeah. She's still in jail. She's still being held.
Oh.
So she's in jail, and Nate's coming to her, and he's got this puzzled look on his face, and she's like, "What? What is it? Just tell me. Keep it real." And he says basically, Wes.
Huh? Oh, okay. She wanted me to say
No. He basically says that Wes was dead before the explosion even happened. So someone killed Wes, put him in the house, and what happened was what happened. Right. So I got a few little tidbits to talk about that. Number one, it's weird. The time frames are kind of off for me, and I know that this show is really good for mixing up the time frames of when things happen to real time. And all I remember is when Wes got the message from Annalise, it was still daylight out because he snuck out of the police office and he went outside and the sun was still out. But when they flash back to Annalise and everything that was happening, it's dark, it's nighttime. That's a question mark there. One of the things that I'm thinking that happened, and this is just my perspective, I don't know, I'm not with the writers, and it probably seems too easy for this, but right now it looks like Frank is public enemy number one. I think he killed Wes.
Frank, man, too obvious to be the guy that kills people like a hobby.
Yeah, but also remember he had the explosive stuff too.
Someone could have taken it from him or something. I have no idea. Maybe he did the fire or whatever, but he didn't kill him.
Yeah, because I don't think he knew that Laura was in the house.
Right, so he might be responsible for one thing, but not for killing Wes.
Yeah, and then like I said, Connor, I don't know, because every time something happens, I'm always suspicious of folks. Everybody's a suspect. Everybody's.
Well, he was talking about beef, huh? Goodness.
I mean,
every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. So that's one part of that, and then with him being dead before all of that even happened, it's like, okay, did the DA's office have something to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a suspect until they can prove themselves. Everybody is a suspect. So it's awful convenient and quite weird. What's your take on the situation?
My take on it, well, what I was saying before, that I'm not sure who would have killed him, but it sounds like maybe it was I don't know who would have time to do that? Because when did Annalise would have had to have left the house? Because it's like if people were having a fight, I'm sure a drunken Annalise would have been able to hear it at least. You know what I mean? It happened in her own house. I don't know. I just feel like Frank somehow had time to set up the explosives because she was gone for a while. And I guess before that is when Wes got killed. So I think it was an accident. Maybe they were actually an accident, like a fighting or something, but they killed him by accident. I don't know. Or it could have been like Black Mariah and Cottonmouth. It could be something like that, when it was a crime of passion. And you just keep on beating until the fool's dead, and you're like, oh crap, I killed him. One of those. Because it's pretty sloppy work just to leave the body there and hoping that the explosion, and you don't even know what's going to happen.
Unless somebody knows that the explosion is going to happen, and then they can say, oh, well, he got killed by an explosion. See there?
Yeah. So, no more you say it like that. I mean, it sounds like it could have been the same person, but I mean, honestly, I just don't think it's fake. I just don't think it's him, man. It's fake. It's too obvious.
I mean, I think you're right. But as of right now, I mean, like I said, anybody could be, you know, anything is possible at this stage of the game. Anything is possible. Um, I don't know. Just the time frames are just off for me because also you got to remember, they wanted to paint Wes as being the traitor and all this stuff and the information on Annalise, but he never signed off on nothing. So he wasn't the traitor. He said what he wanted and what he would and would not um, attest to because of the whole Rebecca situation. That's what changed the game for him. But he never gave any information. So my next question is, what kind of information do they have on Annalise that they can charge her with something? That's my next question. Because I'm like, okay, they didn't get the information from Wes. Who gave them information? Or where did they find information?
Oh, she's got a lot of enemies, and that's just her students.
Yeah. Because
it could be that. Remember that dude? What was his name? Drake? I don't know if I had his first name. The kid that started that whole poster thing.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he might be a piece of the action because he's got some vendetta against her because he's not the teacher's pet. I guess I don't know why he doesn't seem to like her, but I think he's not one of the five.
No, but I think that he's kind of over that because she pretty much straightened him out a couple episodes ago. Yeah. So I don't. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that he's gonna try to step to her again.
Right.
But it just leaves this big question mark in my head because Wes never gave the DA information. He gave them the guidelines, and then when at the end of the day, his loyalty was still to Annalise because he got that message from her, that voicemail, and instead of staying with the DA's office and giving a statement on what he wanted and getting his plea bargain or whatever, he actually left to go take care of Annalise. And so that's just, I mean, it's one of those crazy things.
It speaks volumes to his character.
It does, because, we were so shocked. Oh, my gosh, Wes, is a traitor. I can't believe it.
I mean, it's not like he just wanted immunity, you know what I mean? When it comes down to it, you gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah, and I think that some of that came back from the whole Rebecca situation, because he didn't know, and that was a shocker, too, that would just, took us all the way back. Because I was like, oh, snap, I totally forgot about that. They never did say how they got rid of her body. I know that Frank got rid of it, but Frank is a smart cookie. He wouldn't have just dumped something off just to dump it off. So I don't know what happened there, because I remember that he told Annalise he was going to take care of the body. Because really, Bonnie's the one that killed her. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Bonnie had killed her. So I don't know, but that was one heck of a winner finale. That's how you end a finale. That's how you jump to a show and you get people hooked and get them thinking. Because now, for the next couple of weeks, you're going to be thinking, well, how did Wes get killed? Who killed Wes? Or what was the story behind that? Everybody's going to be thinking that same thing. So it's really awesome to be in a show that is keeping the momentum going, because so many shows lose momentum before and during winter breaks, breaks between seasons and stuff like that. So this, to me, this was how you end a season. This is how you end a show for a vacation break, in my opinion.
Yeah, you gotta do it big.
You got to. I mean, I read up some stuff from Entertainment Weekly. They were talking with the writers, and they were like, when did y'all decide that it was going to be Wes? And they said that they knew that they had to really push the envelope. And they said they know that everybody really is a big fan of Wes. Everyone loves Wes, but they had to go in a major way to really continue to grasp the audience, which I understand, because I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of flashbacks with Wes for the next couple of episodes, probably into the next season. So he's still going to be around. He's just not going to necessarily be a main character. And so I think that that's a big part of being a show like this.
Yeah, I agree.
I know you're upset, Ro, but I definitely feel like this is, it needed something. It needed something because if it was somebody small like Nate and predictable like Nate,
I wouldn't have cared.
yeah, we wouldn't care. It'd be like, oh, whatever, it was Nate. We didn't really care for him anyways.
You know what, Bees? You know what? This is Walking Dead all over again.
Oh, boy.
They kill it off. Glenn, you hear me? Glenn? Alright, he was the heart of the show from the first season, okay? That was just a couple weeks ago. And now I have to deal with this.
Well, I will say that I don't watch Walking Dead, but Bizzle, listen. Bizzle actually told me about that scene, and he's like, "Yeah, you should totally look it up on YouTube and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Really?" So I looked it up on YouTube, and I have to say, for someone who doesn't watch the show and I don't follow it even in the least, that scene was highly disturbing. I felt for Glenn's family and stuff. I was like, gosh, why was it so violent? That was really bad. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so unnecessary. I really was offended.
Cable television.
Huh?
It's cable television.
Yeah, I was completely stunned that I was like, gosh, it was so unprovoked in my opinion, and it was very disturbing. I had trouble sleeping that night because I was like, that was really messed up, man. It didn't have to do him like that. Gosh, that was so horrible.
He beat them like dogs, I mean, the Eeny Miny Mo was pretty messed up. Yeah, you got the one guy, but then, it's like, well, my back's still thirsty, and they go hit another guy. It's like, no, you already got one. Why, Glenn? Why? But, everyone, hates Negan, but I personally love Negan. Just because of the actor, man. We go way back. Yeah. I know the guy, right?
Basically. So that's pretty much, that was the winter finale for How to Get Away with Murder. Murder. Kill. Yeah. Huh? Oh, gosh. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a safe holiday season as we are on break as well, and we will not be back until January 2017 when How to Get Away with Murder comes back. Did they say January 19th or something? I think that's what they said. I don't know. But you guys can check all your local stuff and you can Google it. I'm sure it's all across all kinds of social media stuff. So, but yeah, Wes went bye-bye. Went bye-bye.
Auf Wiedersehen, my Lieblings.
So I appreciate you guys for downloading the podcast. Thank you for supporting the movement. Of course, ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com. I've got a lot more stuff going on. Of course, I've got blog features I'm going to put up this weekend for the Pentatonic show. I went to go see the Pentatonics on Wednesday, and it was phenomenal. If you have not seen the Pentatonics live, you are missing out. So you got to see them live because they're pretty sensational. I'm telling you, Kevin, oh my gosh, the cellist, he plays the cello. I don't know. Are they called cellist? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
They are? Okay. Because I wasn't sure. Because, I used to play string instruments, but I didn't remember if that was a thing. Yeah. Long time ago. But that was that. And then last night I went to Southern Crust Catering Company. They had a launch party in Decatur, downtown Decatur. That was a lot of fun. A lot of good eats. A lot of good friends. And it was a great time. So you guys go and check out ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com, of course, for all your social media needs. If you have an event coming up and you want Ash to attend your event, darling, you can email me info@ashsaidit.com. That is info@ashsaidit.com. And we'll check availability. We'll see if I'm available that particular date, and we'll see if we can work out some contract and stuff because your girl likes the PayPal deposits. Yes. Drop it in the PayPal. I like it. Puts a smile on my face, Ro. And I go check my email, and PayPal says you have funds. You have money. It makes me smile. It makes my heart warm a little bit. Yeah. So, ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. And I'm going to holler at y'all later. Deuces. Yeah.